I'm Helen from Helen Kennedy Designs, and I'd like to show you this bind off for a 1x1 ribbing that creates a really nice stretchy edge that also has this lovely rolled over sort of continuous look to the knitting. And it's an Italian sewn bind off. What we need to begin with is a yarn tail. It's very long, you can see it's 4 times the circumference of my piece of work. And then I've got this yarn needle, and it's really useful to have a yarn needle that's got a little bend in it like this one. It's not essential, but it's really useful and you'll see why. So this bind off is done in 4 steps and in groups of 4 stitches. Step 1 and step 2 we deal with our knit stitches, and step 3 and step 4 we deal with our purl stitches. Each stitch must be worked twice. Now in some videos you'll notice that there's setups that need to be done in order to do this bind off. I don't like that because it's more complicated to remember. I like to just remember the 4 steps, and as a consequence what happens in this bind off is that rather than binding off from the beginning straight away, working each stitch twice, what you do is you work the first 2 stitches once at the beginning of the bind off and once at the end of the bind off. So they are worked twice, but the advantage of this is that there's only ever 4 steps to this bind off, so it's a little bit easier to remember. The first thing we want to do is mark these first 2 stitches because we're going to work them at the beginning of the bind off, but also at the end. So pop a removable clipping marker in the front loop of the knit stitch and hold it at the front of the work, and pop one through the front loop and hold it at the back of the work for the purl stitch. So I'm going to show you this process step by step for each of the 4 steps, and then I'm going to show you how to do it slightly quicker and with a more fluid movement that makes it a little bit easier. But just so that you understand the process, we're going to go one by one to start with. So step 1, we're going to be dealing with a knit stitch. So we insert our needle as if to knit and pull our yarn tail through. It can get a little bit tangled up, so just try and ease it out. And then we're going to allow that stitch to drop off our needle, keeping our little stitch marker just hanging loosely at the front there. Then we're going to deal with the other knit stitch. So we're going to skip the purl and we're going to insert our needle as if to purl into the knit stitch, and we're going to leave that stitch on the needle and just sort of snug up a little bit. Because the gap between the needles at this point, you need to make sure that you sort of snug it enough. Then we're going to deal with our purl stitch, and we're going to insert our needle as if to purl, and we're going to allow that stitch to drop off the needle, and we're going to pull our yarn tail through and let the hanger just hang down there at the back. And then we're going to take our yarn to the back of the work, and we're going to take our needle behind our work, and we're going to come through between the 2 stitches. So not through any of the loops, but just between the 2 stitches here. Then what you want to do is this stitch here, your purl stitch, you want to go knitwise through the front loop of that. Now you can do that by twisting your needle, and this is where it's handy to have that bent tapestry needle, and push it through like so. But if you find that really tricky, you can simply come between the stitches first and pull your yarn tail through, and then go from the front knitwise through that front loop, if that's easier for you to start with. And that's our 4 steps completed. Now we're just going to simply work those 4 steps again. And this time I'll show you how to sort of combine the steps to make the process more fluid. So insert your needle as if to knit into your knit stitch, pull it off the needle, and then rotate your tapestry needle to go in purlwise into the other knit stitch. Remember, we're skipping that purl and going into the knit stitch. Then pull your yarn through. Don't let it get tangled up in your little stitch markers. Obviously in a moment or 2 they'll be out of our way. And then just snug it down very slightly. Then we're going to deal with our purl stitches, and we're going to combine steps 3 and 4. So we're going to insert our needle purlwise. We're going to let that drop off and take our needle to the back of the work. We're then going to come between the stitches and through that front loop of the purl just by rocking our tapestry needle. and then we're going to pull that yarn through. It does get a little bit tangled, so you have to go easy with it. As you tighten your yarn along this bind off, make sure you don't have it too tight, because you actually want enough yarn to make the stitches that roll over the edge. So you want to keep it at a sort of average knitting tension. We're back again to our knit stitch, our first stitch, and so we can insert our needle as if to knit, pull that stitch off, rotate our tapestry needle and go into that second stitch, skipping the purl and into the knit stitch purlwise and leaving it on the needle. And then just gently pull our yarn down, but not too tightly. Then we're going to go into our purl, purlwise, and purl it off the needle, go between our stitches from back to front, and then rock our tapestry needle to go knitwise through the front loop of that purl stitch. Now lots of people have little sayings to try and help them remember the process, and I like to use this. So into the knit, so knit the knit stitch off, purl the knit stitch, leave it on. Purl the purl stitch, take it off, knit the purl stitch, leave it on. And then we're back again to our knit stitch. So knit the knit stitch off, purl the knit stitch on, purl the purl stitch off, knit the purl stitch on. And you can begin to see this very nice rolled bind off that's being created here. It's sort of continuous with your knitting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue, and I'll meet you back just as I'm beginning to finish the bind off, so I can show you how to deal with these last few stitches and how to make a beautiful jogless join. So I'm towards the end of my bind off here. You can see that I'm here again at the beginning of a knit stitch. So we're going to knit that off and purl the next knit stitch on just as before. Then we're going to purl stitch off, and then we're going to knit that purl stitch on. And now I've got 2 stitches left. These have been worked once, and remember then we've got our stitches on our stitch markers that have also been worked once. So what we're going to do now is pull my needle along. I'm on a circular needle, and I'm going to mount this stitch. That's the front loop of the stitch. I'm going to mount it onto my needle so it's in the correct orientation, like so. And then I also want to mount this stitch. Now we want to mount this in the correct direction. So it's actually, you're going to come under here to get that in the correct direction. Okay. So not just in like that, but back through there, and then you can remove that stitch marker as well. And now both of those stitches are mounted in the correct direction, and you can simply slip your needle along, and then just as before repeat your 4-step process. So knit off, purl on, purl off, knit on. And then these 2 stitches have now been worked again, so you can, scary as it is, simply drop them off the needle. So you've then finished your bind off. Now at the end of the bind off and the beginning of the bind off, you can get a little bit, and even sometimes along the bind off, your stitches can get just a little bit out of place, and I'll just show you. So for example here, this is one of our knit stitches in the top of the row, and you can see that this leg is much longer than this leg. So what I do is to just pop my tapestry needle underneath and just give it a little jiggle. And actually when you do that, it really sort of helps even out any sort of unevenness, which sometimes happens because of the yarn. Well, as you pull it through when you're making this sewn bind off, you can get little tiny bits of threads of yarn that stick the stitches together and sort of pull them out of alignment. So when you've completed this bind off, you can simply just sew it in down the back so it holds like this, and that gives you a pretty good join. But I like to just do one little finishing step, and that is to roll my work up, and you can see that this is our last knit stitch at the end of the bind off, and I just like to go underneath that loop there at the back towards the back of it, and then just pop my needle through there and pull my yarn through, and then sew in down the back. And that just helps very slightly for that stitch to sit just a little bit upright, I guess, at the end of the bind off. You don't have to do that, but it's my personal preference. And then you can simply turn your work to the other side, and using your tapestry needle, simply sort of rotate and scoop up these legs of your knit stitches and take your yarn tail through. You can see I've got quite a bit of yarn tail left, but much better to have a bit extra than too little. And then that's the join in your bind off, and you can see that it's pretty invisible. So I hope you found that video useful. If you want to know how to do an alternating cast on, which also gives you a nice rolled over effect and is a very easy for a 1x1 ribbing, then click the link at the end of the video. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, and happy knitting.